Hi, welcome back to Forgotten Legends of Sound. Today we are doing the eyes, so, I guess we'll just kind of get going with it. Yeah, so the first band to show off, here's Between Two Worlds. This is a side project from Abath from Immortal. It's kind of like a black and roll kind of thing, so kind of cool, And then we got Ice Age. This is The Great Divide. This is some prog metal kind of stuff.
Yeah, I got into these guys. Yeah, like sometime in high school or something. I've only heard this album, but I haven't listened to it in a long time, so it's been a while.
I don't think I've ever listened to that album, so yeah, I think we all need to listen to them a little bit more. They did come out with a new album though. Here's Iced Earth, their first album. It's got like the OG looking artwork and stuff, Century Media. Kind of cool, Then we got Iced Earth, their second album, Night of the Storm Rider. And as far as I could tell, I think these are OG early press kind of ones that I picked up.
Oh, snap pentagrams.
Oh, pentagrams all day. And then we got Burnt Offerings from Iced Earth as well. I'm just showing kind of just the earlier ones just because, I don't know, just kind of cool to show. And then we got Iced Earth as well with the Dark Saga. So Iced Earth is one of those bands that, and then we got Something Wicked This Way Comes. One of those bands that I didn't really care for them that much in high school, and Kevin was kind of more into them.
Yeah.
And then the last couple of years, then I was kind of like, they're kind of cool,
I do need to listen to them more because I'm mostly familiar with this one and the Glorious Burden, like those two albums, but I haven't gotten really into their newer stuff or like their older stuff, so I feel like I gotta branch out a little bit.
I need to listen to them more too. Here's Horror Show from Iced Earth. So kind of cool. And then we got Iced Earth with the Glorious Burden. This was actually the first album we ever got by them. It was like new at the time.
Yeah.
And we're like, oh, this is kind of cool. And so that's, yeah. And then we just kind of worked our way back to get all their like older stuff. So
right.
Kind of cool.
Yeah.
Here's a little album from the ICS Vortex guy. So this is Stormseeker. I got that in Denmark. I saw it for pretty cheap. I was like, cool. Then we got Isan with The Adversary. So this is like after Emperor split up, Isan continued to make kind of more progressive metal, black metal kind of albums. Then we got Isan with Angle. And then we also got Isan with After. So I think those first three are part of like a trilogy. I'm less familiar with the earlier ones because at the time that those were coming out, I was not into black metal, so I didn't even really check them out. So
right.
The ones that were more newer, like later on, are the ones that I kind of checked out more. But one day I'll go back to checking these out. And then we got Era Media from Isan. And then we got Das Seelen Brecken. So whatever that means.
Sounds probably fun to say though.
Yeah. Then we got Arctis. This is the album that made me kind of just like, Isan, like I need to check out more of his stuff. That one came out in 2016. And then also here's Amr from Isan. That one's like pretty good as well. Then we got Isan with Telemark EP.
Dude, I didn't even realize Isan had this much stuff.
Yeah. I think this is all of his albums. And also this is Isan with Pharos. Both of these EPs are like 3 original songs and then 2 covers. Huh. So kind of cool. Alrighty. So a couple years ago when I started getting into black metal, I kind of went on a rampage and just bought a ton of black metal stuff, because I was just like really digging it. So I still need to catch up with a lot of it. Here's Full Moon Diabolical Mysticism. Diabolical Full Moon Mysticism from Immortal. So this is their first album. I'm just going to show off the little artwork and stuff. It's kind of cool looking. And then also here's Immortal with Pure Holocaust. I've gone through this album a few times, but it hasn't really fully clicked yet for me. Here's Battles in the North from Immortal as well. So some of these pictures and stuff I think are just really funny. Especially that they're just like kind of just like hamming it up, so I don't know. There's something like very self-aware that Immortal has that's just kind of funny.
Looking at the picture, I could totally see it underneath saying "Sing loud, sing proud," and then like having the first track be like Dropkick Murphy.
Yeah. And then we got Blizzard Beasts.
Kind of goofy.
Yeah, goofy. And then we also got, this is a really good one. This is At the Heart of Winter from Immortal. So kind of cool. Really, really good album. And then we also got Damned in Black from Immortal as well. So pretty cool. And then this is the album that I first heard by them that I was like exposed to. The song Sons of Northern Darkness was the first song I ever heard by them. And I was kind of like, this is actually like pretty cool stuff, That one is probably my favorite Immortal album. But who knows? As I listen to more of their stuff and whatnot, who knows where that will change. And then here's Immortal with All Shall Fall. And then here's Immortal with Northern Chaos Gods. And I think they're coming out with a new album or something, so kind of cool. And then we got Imperanon with Stained. That last one doesn't have Abath on it anymore. They like split up and yeah. But then we also got some. So like in high school, I was really big into melodic death metal, so I really kind of just like ventured off to get like the OGs of some of these bands and stuff because I was just like. So here's In Flames, the Lunar Strain, OG looking one. So kind of cool. I think that album is pretty cool. Like it's kind of experimental a little bit. And then we got the Subterranean EP. This is a great EP from In Flames. So it also has Oscar Dronjek from Hammerfall doing some backing vocals on it. Nice. So it's funny how these bands were all like friends and stuff, and you know, doing different genres, but also kind of contributing to each other's bands a little bit.
Hammerfall, Dark Tranquility, In Flames, all these people in the early days were
throughout the 90s. They were all like stuff. Yeah. And then we got In Flames. This is a classic album. This is the Jester Race. Man, I remember first hearing this and just being blown away. I was just like, this stuff was really melodic. I loved the heavy parts mixed with the acoustic stuff. Like, it was just really cool. And this is the In Flames Black Ash Inheritance picture disc. So kind of cool. Don't put it in your car stereo. It'll get stuck. And I remember I picked up this compilation. This is Jester Race and Black Ash Inheritance. I picked it up in high school because there was a store that was going out of business. I remember we picked up like Camelot, and I think you picked up Symphony X too.
Yeah. It was super cheap.
It was so cheap. Yeah. So I remember, picking that one up there. So that was kind of cool. A little lucky moment. Yeah. Then we got In Flames with Horacle. So really fantastic album. If you like melodic death metal, then, you know, everybody's heard of In Flames. Like they're one of the more popular melodic death metal bands. And then we got Colony. Fantastic album. And Clayman as well, really good stuff. That one's kind of one of my least favorites from their like, I mean, I like it more than Lunar Strain, but compared to like, Jester Race, Colony, Horacle, or Reroute, I like that one the least. But it's still a fantastic album,
Yeah.
But I was always surprised that everybody loves that album so much, and it was
I do like it.
Yeah. Then we got Reroute to Remain. This is my first exposure to In Flames. I love that album. I think it's really cool. It's this blend of melodic death metal with alternative metal. Like,
wasn't this one produced by the same guy?
Dark King guy.
Yeah. Didn't he also do Expanding Senses? Mm-hmm. Like he did both?
Yeah, that's same guy. Then we also got In Flames with Trigger. So this was like an EP that was released a year afterwards. Pretty good. I think there's like one new song. There's like a Genesis cover on there that's pretty good too. Here's Soundtrack to Your Escape from In Flames. When this album first came out, man, I hated it. I was so disappointed. And then in the last like 5 years or so, I've started to warm up to it. But at the time, I had such a hatred for it. For some reason, that album to me was just like this really crappy version of Reroute to Remain. Like, I don't know. It's just, I like it now. I think it's great, but I don't know. It took me some time.
Yeah.
And then we got Come Clarity from In Flames. I remember when that one came out, and there was a few songs I liked. And honestly, newer In Flames or post-Reroute stuff really had to grow on me a little bit more. I had to kind of give it more of a chance. And then we got In Flames. This is A Sense of Purpose. And here onward, this newer In Flames stuff, I've heard very little. Like, they're a band that just started dying for me, so I picked up their albums. They're really cheap. I was kind of just like doing it because I was such a devoted fan back in the day. But I've rarely listened to some of these.
Completionist.
Yeah. Here's The Mirror's Truth. It's like a single for In Flames. Yeah, and they were just so cheap too that I was kind of like, why not? Yeah. And I was like, I figure I'd like something from it,
At least one song.
At least one song. Here's Sounds from a Playground Fading. And then also here's In Flames with Siren Charms. I remember picking up those for like $3 each or something really cheap.
I haven't even heard of any of these ones.
Yeah, there's a reason why. Like, a lot of these newer albums, I heard like some of the singles, like I heard a tiny bit, and I was like, every now and then I'd be like, oh, that one was pretty good, or that one sucked. And then I was just kind of like, that one's battles. So, and then we got Eye the Mask from In Flames. That was their new album, but then they just came out with a new album earlier this year, so. Haven't even listened to that one yet. Isn't that too bad? Like the last like 5 albums from them, like I haven't really listened to.
It's okay.
Not a big deal. And it's too bad because when somebody like has like a couple singles, I give them a try, and those are not pulling me in. And there's so much other music to compete for my attention.
It's like
it's not like I'm like feeling this urge to just dive deep into all these newer In Flames albums. I'm kind of like, but maybe I am missing out. If I am, then let me know. Because it seems like most of the consensus also is like this stuff sucks. So
don't worry, Ian, you're not missing out. Yeah. Who knows? I don't know. I haven't heard it, so I don't know.
One day I'll give it a chance. That's In the Woods with Heart or Art of the Ages. Kind of cool, atmospheric, kind of black metal-y album. Here's Omnio from In the Woods. I think these albums are actually a little bit harder to find as well. Here's Strange in Stereo from In the Woods. Yeah, and then we all got Incubus with Science. So this is kind of, I don't know, alternative metal, new metal, funk metal, and alt rock, I guess, kind of blend together. I know
if you're a '90s kid, you freaking listen to it. So
yeah,
or at least heard it.
Yeah, and then we got Incubus. Here's Make Yourself. This is a pretty good album. I like it. Same thing with this one. I think this album's pretty good too. This is Morning View. My coworker actually really liked Incubus, so we went through Morning View together. And I had a greatest hits from them, but I never had their albums. And then after going through that album with him, I was kind of like, yeah, these guys are pretty good. So that's why I picked up just a couple of other albums to, kind of dive a little bit deeper into them. Here's Monuments and Melodies. This is the greatest hits that I picked up for super cheap because I was just like, I'm good with just the greatest hits. But then we also got some Infectious Grooves. The plague, the plague that makes your booty move. It's the Infectious Grooves. So yeah,
there they are.
Little side project from Suicidal Tendencies. So kind of cool. And then we got In the Halls of Awaiting from Insomnium. Honestly, this might be my favorite Insomnium album. There's just something more magical about this one. I think it's just really good. And then we also got Insomnium with Since the Day It All Came Down. And I remember when these albums, like, they only had these 2 albums, and then, like, the Above the Weeping World was, like, just brand new. And I remember at the time thinking that, like, Insomnium probably won't ever be that big because, they're like, we've heard some of this stuff before. Oh, it's like a melodic death version of Opeth, or, like, a continuation, like a more somber version of In Flames with the acoustic and heavy bits and stuff. But now Insomnium is pretty big, so it's like good for them. You're like, that's pretty cool that they kept on making stuff. Their later stuff, I just haven't really listened to as much as the stuff in high school. Here's Above the Weeping World. So some of the later albums I've checked out, but I still need to dive more deeper into some of these Insomnium albums. How you doing there, bro?
I had something on my hand, and I was like, man, what the?
What's going on there?
Yeah.
And that's Across the Dark from Insomnium. I think that's a special one. I think it's got like bonus tracks or something. And then we got One for the Sorrow from Insomnium. And then we got Shadows of the Dying Sun from Insomnium. So like these last 3 albums I've never gone through because during that time when they came out, I was just into other things and whatnot. And then I retroactively went back and bought those in the hopes that I'd catch up. And when this album came out, I listened to this a good ton. I like Winter's Gate. I think it's a good album. It's one of those similar to Crimson where it's like one song that's like 40 minutes long or whatever. But yeah, that album actually is really good. And then here's Heart Like a Grave from Insomnium. This is the first one with the Sonata Arctica, Jani Limitainen doing guitars. And then here's Insomnium EP Argent Moon. And these guys came out with a new album recently too, but I've never heard it, so I don't know if it's any good. And then we've got Intestine Baalism or Ballism. Yeah, this one, it's, what is this one? Ultimate Instinct. Yeah, this came out in 2008. This is a band that I'm fairly new to. But I really like that album. I think it's like pretty cool,
From Japan.
Melodic, yeah, Japanese kind of death metal that's a little bit heavier.
The logo just has to be death metal.
Yeah, yeah, and I think that, yeah, for reals, yeah. But yeah, that one's a pretty good album. I tried like seeing if I could get their first 2 albums for cheap, but they're really expensive, so I'm like, I'm just gonna hold off on those ones. And then we got a bunch of Iron Maiden stuff. So I kind of wanted to show off all these. So this is like, I think the UK version as well as the American version. So kind of cool, got 2 copies because half of these copies I remember picking up in high school and then we split up and then I picked them all up again from someone that sold like a giant Iron Maiden like auction thing. So yeah. I picked up a lot. That's why there's like 2 copies of like a lot of these classics. And then same thing here. Here's Iron Maiden with Killers. And these ones look more alike, but they have like a different number. So I think it is kind of a UK version and an American version as well or something. So kind of cool. Good old Killers.
Yeah, but Ian, do you really like Iron Maiden?
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, and then here's Iron Maiden, The Number of the Beast. Yeah, Iron Maiden is a band that I didn't grow up listening to. I think it was until I was in high school or something that we started like picking up their stuff. And I remember
I saw a lot of band shirts.
Yeah. So yeah, I picked up a lot of their '80s kind of stuff at Sound Exchange, and then from then on, kind of just diving deeper. But like when it comes to like their '90s stuff, I'm not that familiar with their '90s work. I know they had
Blaze
the different
Bailey.
singer. Yeah, I know they had the Blaze Bailey on vocals for those 2 albums and stuff. And even some of the newer albums I haven't really jumped into yet either. So one day though. But the '80s stuff is really freaking good. So then we got Iron Maiden with Peace of Mind. Some of these look like pretty identical, but they are different versions due to the numbers
got the
or
blue
whatever.
on the inside. The other one's got the white on the inside.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
So, anyways, they're different, but it's whatever. This is just to be like, look at this, check it out. You know, I bet there's probably like less than 1% cares about seeing.
But hey,
these ones, yeah.
That's pretty cool though.
So here's Iron Maiden with Power Slave. Definitely probably in their top 3 or top 5 albums or whatever. Like, I don't know anybody that doesn't freaking love Power Slave. Like, it's just an amazing
Power
album.
Slave is good.
Yeah. Here's another album. Here's Somewhere in Time. This is an album where, and I think the green one is the American and the black is like English or something, but I'm not sure. I need to check again. So kind of cool. This is an album that I've warmed up. I always liked it, but
I've never like loved it.
Yeah. It wasn't until recently that I'm like, man, this album is like one of their best. Like I'm really digging it, and yeah, but because for the longest time I'd always either listen to Seventh Son or Power Slave, and then I would skip that one. Like I wouldn't listen to that one nearly as much, you know. But now I think that one's just as fantastic as those two. Then we got Seventh Son of the Seventh Son. This might be their coolest artwork. What do you guys think? Is there one that you guys like the most for artwork?
It's tough, man, because, dude, Eddie's he's a cool mascot. They've got him all these, like, I don't know, man.
I don't know. I love the blue. Like, I don't know. There's something about it that's really, like, appealing to me visually.
I do like Brave New World, the way Brave New World looks. You know,
the giant cloud.
Like, but I don't know what my favorite is.
Yeah, that'd be...
Okay, well, let me ask you guys, like, what's your favorite Iron Maiden album?
It might be Seventh Son of the Seventh Son.
I had a film. You too,
Me
probably.
too, yeah.
Yep.
Because-
What a big surprise.
Dude, like the keyboard parts and everything in Seventh Son, I love it.
The songwriting is fantastic. It's great.
I'm gonna say the usual Power Slave.
Power Slave,
That's my second favorite. Power Slave is probably my second favorite.
Then we got Iron Maiden, Fear of the Dark. Not my favorite.
It's not that bad.
I need to listen to this one more.
Yeah.
I need to.
All their 90s stuff I need to listen to more. Here's the X Factor from Iron Maiden. So, kind of cool. And then here's Virtual 11 from Iron Maiden. And for a while, I thought Brave New World was one of my favorites. But honestly, Brave New World, the first half is amazing. The second half it doesn't engage me as much. Yeah. Like, it's still a fantastic album, but
I do like Brave New World.
Brave New World, pretty dope. Yeah. And then we got Dance of Death.
Good stuff on there.
Yeah, true. Brandon was listening to Brave New World and he was digging it. That was kind of cool to hear.
Nice.
Dude, this cover.
Yeah.
It's a little goofy.
It's a little goofy.
Yeah.
I get what they're going for, like the eyes wide shut crap, but
Is that what they're going for?
It looks like it to me, anyways. That's how I interpret it.
Yeah.
But
I always pictured it as like, let's just do a CGI mess of
like
crap.
the CGI is just like, dude, like CGI.
Yeah. Matter of life and death. And then we also got the Final Frontier from Iron Maiden. I've never heard that one, Final Frontier, so I don't know if it's good or not. And then I went through this one recently, and I thought it was pretty good. Book of Souls. It's kind of long because it's a 2-disc album, but I thought it was pretty good.
Man, there's so many of these that I'm like...
Yeah. And then we got Iron Maiden with Senjutsu, so kind of cool. You know, that's their newest album. And then we got Iron Saver with Unification. I think, is this one that Jake got us in Japan?
Yeah, actually,
I think it is. Yeah.
like we're not super big into Iron Savior, and I've only heard this album a little bit, so I'm not super.
I know it's like tied to Kai Hansen or something like that, but I don't.
And Peter Silk, because he was the guitar player for Savage Circus, and
they're both probably in there or something.
Yeah,
can't remember though.
I gotta look it up because I don't know if there's a connection to Kai Hansen or not. I
just know that.
Oh, there is.
Album
he plays guitar.
Yeah,
Kai Hansen.
Yeah,
Pete Silk, Kai Hansen, Dan Zimmerman. Okay, yeah, Dan Zimmerman's been kind of all around.
What's he from?
He did some. Did he do some Gamma Ray? Yeah, and I
thought he did some Avantasia or something too. Or am I thinking wrong?
Did he do some? Okay, maybe I'm getting this wrong. I thought that
Dan Zimmer.
No, I thought he like did a little bit with Halloween when they lost Ingo, like just kind of session drummer. But I don't know. Yeah. I want to look it up because that's gonna bug me.
Yeah, so that's it as far as my CDs. So now we're on Chad's CDs.
So yeah, we're in the eyes. Iced Earth. Yeah. Days of Purgatory, I think it's just kind of like a greatest hits type thing, isn't it? Or...
Yeah, they like re-recorded a lot of those songs from the first few albums with the new vocalist. So,
okay, all right. Yeah, okay.
Kind of the greatest hits, but also a re-recording thing.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah. I've never listened to that one.
I didn't even know they had different vocalists.
Yeah, they've had like a few different ones. Because in the first few albums, they had... Who did they have? They had someone else, and then I think this is with Matt Barlow, I think. And then after Matt Barlow, I think they got Tim the Ripper Owens. Yeah. For like the 2000s or something. I don't know. This is off the top of my head. So like, I think they had I think Tim left in the 2000s or something. So they had someone else. And
okay, so the band I was thinking of is Freedom Call. Dan Zimmerman did some Freedom Call stuff. So he did not do any Halloween stuff.
You were wrong. No.
Yeah, but he did do some Gamma Ray. So yeah,
kind of cool.
Just wanted to check it in real time.
Time.
And then we got some Impelled. The Dead Still Dead Remain.
Mm-hmm.
Some good old fashioned death grind.
I remember you showing us Impaled back in high school.
Yeah,
when I
was. Yeah.
Especially that.
I remember Jesse's brother's friend. They're from Arizona, and like I remember he had a burnt CD of this disc right here, Death After Life. And yeah, I fell in love, man.
Yeah.
Impaled. This is my first exposure to him.
Are you sure you didn't have to grow to this? Like,
no, dude. I mean, you guys probably need to.
Yeah.
I remember I did that battle that didn't make sense, but I got impaled in there, and you guys were just kind of like,
yeah. Oh yeah. It was like Impaled versus Ghoul.
Yeah. Well, let's not get into it. You know, it's just.
No, I think we like Ghoul more. I think, if I remember right.
Yeah.
But some of the Impaled stuff was pretty good, from what I remember.
Yeah.
And then we got some Iron Maiden, Number of the Beast.
Great album.
I think that's from you guys, right?
I don't know. I didn't have any of these.
Oh, okay.
I don't know, Chad. This is a satanic band.
Yeah, I know. We got it. Iron Maiden, Peace of Mind.
No, but it is funny that back in the day, like parents were worried, like Number of the Beast and stuff.
Yeah, they're like
666.
Number of the Beast,
like the satanic panic.
Yeah, dude. Like people were scared back in the day,
and then it just made them more famous.
I know, dude. It's like, don't listen to this. Okay, now we just want to listen to it more.
Yeah.
And then Iron Maiden, Power Slave.
It's just funny because now Iron Maiden is so tame.
Compared to a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Fear of the Dark. And I haven't even listened to this. A Matter of Life and Death.
Yeah, I think those ones were from me and Kevin, but not those early ones.
I actually do like this album. This album is pretty solid. You know, so not their best album, but I still like it.
Still pretty good. Yeah, I remember listening to it a little bit in high school when it came out, but I don't think I've even listened to it since then. You know, so I don't really remember much.
Yeah, it's pretty good. So, I enjoy it.
Yeah.
So.
Cool. I think we're done with the eyes.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Thanks for watching, everybody. Hope you have a good day.
Yeah.
Well, kind of good day.
Or a good night.